Hello and welcome to Waste Breakfast. We all discuss about everything governance, mental health, self-development, everything, even entertainment. My name is Godspeed Israel and I'm joined by my amazing co-anchor, Joy. Hi Joy, how are you?
Hi Godspeed.
Kilo de what happened?
How you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good.
I feel like it's a cold morning somehow. I'm just a bit cold. Are you?
Well, that's for
with the whole
you.
climate and the whole fact, I mean, before now we've been complaining about the fact that everywhere is hot, everywhere is this, everywhere is that. I mean, I had to start putting on bucket hats before I turn black. Before I turn black. But I mean, I get it right. But since yesterday till now, I'm like, okay, this weather is looking sweet.
I mean, for me, yesterday, when I saw the rain, I was grateful for it. I mean, I've never been so grateful for rain in my entire life. I'm always, oh, why is it raining? It's raining. But, I mean, as of yesterday, I was really grateful. I said, thank you, Lord, for this rain. And then it got to the night period. I was really shivering. I was so cold to the point that my girlfriend had to cover me herself. I was like, okay. But, hey, thanks to Waste Breakfast, I have a cup of hot coffee here. So yeah, thanks to Waste Breakfast. Yeah, we're good.
I mean, I feel like there's a whole lot to talk about today, to be honest, right? Today's topic is beyond the headlines. But before we even dive into that intriguing subject, let's take a moment to catch up on the latest headlines around the globe. Please stay with us. You're still watching Waste Breakfast. I'll be taking you on a captivating journey across Africa with the Punch newspaper. So yes, the major headlines read Emefiele social programs, banks withhold 530 billion naira Central Bank of Nigeria funds, Cardoso may order refund. Access Bank, Guarantee Trust Bank, First City Monument Bank, 6 others keep unused funds, SMEs seek fresh loans. Are the Nigeria Financial Intelligence Unit and the Nigeria Incentive-Based Risk Sharing System for Agricultural Lending to tackle anchor borrowers, loan defaulters. Central Bank of Nigeria rules out intervention. Bottom of the newspaper, federal government rolls out 2,700 CNG buses, tricycles, May 8. Our acquire shots abattoir to probe poisonous meat allegation. Motorist, resident stranded as flood overturns Lagos-Ogun roads. Outrage over discrimination against Nigerians at Abuja Chinese supermarket. Above the masthead, federal government probes $500 million local content loans project. Equity market suffers 1.6 trillion naira losses in 1 week. Army vows revenge after terrorists kill 6 soldiers. Lastly, at the right side of the masthead, Ondo poll Akin Teriwa others protest as Ayedatiwa wins APC ticket. That's the All Progressive Congress ticket. So the headline that piqued my interest is the headline at the bottom of the newspaper that says federal government rolls out 2,700 CNG buses, tricycle May 8. So yes, the federal government is gearing up to launch approximately 2,700 compressed natural gas, that's the CNG, powered buses and tricycles before May 29, which marks the first anniversary of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu tenure in office. So this initiative is part of the presidential CNG initiative aimed at delivering cheaper, safer, and more environmentally friendly energy for mass transit. So yeah, I like what Tinubu is about to do. It's going to a year now. I mean, just I think a few days from now, a few weeks from now, he'll be like a year on seat. Well, okay, before I even talk about what do you think about his tenure for, like, I mean, how many months now? And there are a lot of ups and downs, but the fact that Naira to dollar now is a bit, down, and I feel like a whole lot of things are going smooth. Although from initials, it was a bit chaotic and all of these things. But right now, I can say that, yes, there are a whole lot of positive change, And now that he has come out to say, now he's saying it fully that he's going to launch out about 2,700 buses. This is good. And he has promised, he has made sure that these buses are cheaper, safer, and environmentally friendly for, mass transit. Do you have anything to say to that, John?
Well, for me, it's more like let's throw a bit of Hillary. Let's make it a bit hilarious for us this morning. So you remember when Tinubu was campaigning before the elections, and also when he came to when he came for his swearing in as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, a lot of people were of the opinion that he cannot stand on his own. His hands were shaking, his legs were shaking. And now my own beautiful question right now is, Afa Abeg, who is holding him right now? Who is holding him right now? Is his hands still shaking? Are those legs still shaking? So, I mean, I understand that this man, this personality is a worker. I mean, not just a talker. When he talks, he tries to activate the things that he does, the things that he says. He put them into action. And I just have a problem, and it's not really so much a problem, just a little challenge. And it's just a thing of, we understand that, yeah, you are thinking good about the country. You want to make the country the best place it can be because of your understanding of leadership and politics and governance, as opposed just putting out a policy out there that you want to transform the country. Let's just get backup plans. That's all we're asking. I don't think we're asking for too much. We're just asking for at least a backup plan, because we still need to survive, right? That's why the fact that you want to make changes. And guess what? Because we have gotten quite deep into our detriment, so making instant changes like that are just going to be it's going to have a lot of effect on us. So as opposed to having that great effect, we just need a backup plan or a substitute that we can just fall back to hold on to, say, okay, let's hold on to this whilst you're working, and where you're working, when you're done with the work, we now come back to it. So that's just it for me. Aside that, the guy is good. He's working.
Yeah, I agree to that too. Let's hear your headlines, John.
Anyways, very quickly, I'll be taking you away from the African continent, and I'll be taking you to the international spectrum this morning to review the Daily Telegraph newspaper. Now, the major headline reads, the Prime Minister refuses to back under fire Metropolitan Chief. And the story right under it says, Ministry of Defense hands out free cigarettes to Ukrainian troops training in the United Kingdom. That's quite interesting. And the story right beside that says, foreign officer went against Rwanda plan. And inside the newspaper reads, still working, Bon Jovi on fame, adulation and hair. And then the story right under that says, John Simpson, the BBC is doing its best to be impartial on Gaza. Right underneath is the health story that reads, what to eat at every age, adapt your diets to each decade of your life. And right under that also says, Tim Stanley, the idea of free will is dead, long live the National Health Service. And the picture story right there, I just quickly touch on, is Beckham's birthday piggy park. And this is just me saying, happy birthday, David Beckham, wishing you long life, prosperity, and achieve career dreams and goals. However, I just want to quickly touch on the story that says Ministry of Defense hands out free cigarettes to Ukrainian troops Ukrainian troops training in the United Kingdom. Now, the story reads that Ukrainian soldiers trained in the UK were given free cigarettes under a deal brokered by the Ministry of Defense, despite the dangers of smoking. Now, the arrangement allowed tobacco donated to the troops to be imported duty-free as part of their rations. It came after complaints from the soldiers that cigarettes were too expensive in the United Kingdom and in too short supply at the training bases to meet their needs. Now, it's interesting to know that a pack of 20 cigarettes in Ukraine cost about 1.70 pounds, compared with the UK price of 15.67 pounds since last December. Now, this deal was facilitated by Ben Wallace, the Defense Secretary, working with his Ukrainian counterparts. And to me, I'm trying to see, is there any special health benefits of cigarettes to soldiers that they need to, I mean, they went as far as importing the cigarettes on duty free. That means at no cost, at no importation cost. They imported it from Ukraine to the United Kingdom for the Ukrainian soldiers to use. And I just want to quickly put out something. Now, these are people you're training to defend a country. They are putting their lives on the line to act as defense, security measures. They are there to create security measures and actions for a particular country, not just a state, but a full country right now. And then, despite having the idea of what smoking entails of, you still want to hand it over to them. However, since it's tobacco, and I think I've listened to a medical practitioner who have made it known that at times marijuana and tobacco sometimes is actually good for the health. So at this point, I'll only just say making it duty-free is the problem for me, because making it duty-free means that you are going to just open room for it to come in massive numbers, and then again, as usual, or as the saying goes, too much of everything is bad and harmful. So it would be nice if you can just quick caution to it. If this is for health benefits and they're just going to take it in portions, then that's fine by me. But if they're just going to make it free of charge like that and make it so easily accessible, then I think there might be an abuse of it, and we really want to checkmate that, considering the health of our security agents in the country.
Also, yeah, I understand you, right? And so, yes, in agreement to what Joy has already said. I don't think I'm to add anything, because, I mean, she already said it all. So, yes, topic of today, just like I said, we'll be going on a short break. We'll be going straight, what am I saying? We'll be going on a short break, and when we come back, we'll be diving straight to the topic of today. Please stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. Today we're discussing an interesting subject beyond the headlines. Remember, you can join the conversation by either sending us an SMS or a WhatsApp message, or even calling. The numbers are displayed on the screen. So yes, beyond the headlines. I feel like that particular word has been well explained by me and Joy on the state, because, just as the word goes, beyond the headlines, we want to just talk about headlines from last week that needs probably like solutions, or, that needs to be more detailed, So yes. Joy, why are you looking at me like that?
Absolutely.
So yeah, the headline for the first headline is the Dubai floods, right? So chaos ensued in the United Arab Emirates, that's the UAE, after the country witnessed the heaviest rainfall in 75 years. Whoa. So this just made me remember the earthquake that happened in Taiwan, where they said this had literally not happened for like 25 years, So this is like 75 years, and they have never had this kind of rain in the last like 75 years, right? So with some areas recording more than 250, like around 10 inches. Whoa. Just as I'm speaking right now, we all can watch it. See, to the extent that they now have to leave their cars, I start using like canoes and ships and all of those things. Whoa, this is too much. The state, this is like the state media office said this on Wednesday. This is a whole lot, Joy. And one thing that came to my head is this old flood thing, right? Where do we even place it? Do we place it because before, for us to get like flood, it's there from like rain start falling. Do you get what I mean? So you can actually not stop rain, except maybe in this part of the world, Nigeria. So I don't know. In a place like Dubai, do you think there'll be any Do you think at some point they want to be like, oh, okay, they can do it? If they had like the, what did you call that now? If they have like the power, probably like that of Nigeria. Even in Nigeria, we have flood. I mean, it was even in the news, right? There's flood around Lagos, Ogun State Road. So where do all these people that say they can hold water and all of these things, that they can hold rain, where were they when all this were happening?
I mean, it's very interesting because the reason why it's more interesting is that if this happened in Nigeria, it's very understandable. Very, very understandable.
So why do
but
you
the
think
fact that it's
understandable?
happening in Dubai, it begs a question to say, okay, what climate are we expecting again in the world? Right. Because right here we're complaining of heat wave, and in Taiwan and New York they had to face earthquakes, and now Dubai, that is described as one of the hottest and driest city in the world, happens to have rainfall. Do you understand that Dubai is in a desert?
Yeah.
Dubai is in a desert, so getting to see that magnitude of rainfall to cause that kind of serious damage, I mean, it was a huge damage to a lot of things. I watched the video. I could sometimes, I think at some part of the video that I watched, I could literally see an office chair fly out from the office window straight onto the road where cars were passing, and it was really, it was, I mean, to the point that it even had to affect the airports and the airlines. They couldn't make any travels. They couldn't make any movements. It's just recently I think that
this is chaotic.
Just recently UAE actually started flying again because they literally could not make anything. And then again, it just makes me want to ask a question. So, does Dubai actually create their rain? Because I know that some weather modification method now uses plane and ground-based cannons to shoot particles into the cloud, making more nuclear, attracting moisture that falls as snow and rain. And this is because being a dry city, see, that's the beautiful thing I love about Nigeria. Nigeria is so blessed that, number one, we are on planet Earth. And planet Earth makes it to be that we are not far from the sun, we're not so close to the sun. And also, again, now, we are in... we're in a region of the world where rainfall, we gather day, sunshine, we gather day, normal cloudy weather, we gather day. So just name the weather condition, we are good to go. We don't get it excessive, we don't get it underscore, like it is not underestimated and it's not overestimated. We're just balanced, and it is just recently we started facing once magnitude of heat wave, which I'm very sure is because of the gas plants we've been doing a lot, the gas transaction we've been doing, a lot of gas activities that has been going on. So we've been releasing a lot of carbons into the cloud and the sky. That's what's really contributing to our heat wave. But as opposed to Nigeria, in Dubai, it is, like I said, it's known as the driest and hottest city in the world that is literally in the desert. So I want to just beg a question. Could it be that these guys have gone to make their rain, and because you're making rain, you know what is not natural?
Chaotic.
What is not natural? You cannot manage the situation. So I feel for them more, but at least I'm grateful that checking on updates as of recent, now I think they are now able to fly. So they've been able to curb majority part of the water away just to make sure they are moving again. But this
that does not still
this is
stop
terrible.
The fact that a whole lot of things went bad. Like, I mean, let me quickly read a reaction of what someone said. So the girl said, the scary part is that there was nowhere to go. A Dubai resident, I mean her now, who declined to provide her last name, Sophie ended up stranded outside our home for nearly 12 hours, some of which were spent sleeping in her car as surrounding roads remained submerged. So you see, there was no movement. A whole lot of things were lost, properties, cars. I'm just looking at one Benz right there. I'm like, bro, what's going on?
Why does car have to be your first problem?
Stop, yeah.
But imagine,
you already know who I am, literally.
Let's take a little bit of imagination that this happens in Nigeria, please. Which of the Nigerian car do you think will survive it? Because I know you're a car lover. So which of the Nigerian car do you think will survive this?
I don't think any will, to be honest, because I mean, end of the day, they are machines, right? And they would get rusty and all of this, and so for sure, I don't think any will survive, no matter how strong the car is.
I feel a boat Suzuki will work. Sorry, not boat. Drive.
A what?
Suzuki will work.
What Suzuki?
I don't know. I just feel like
that one will be the first one to break down.
Oh God, I know you hate that car. I intentionally did that. I know you hate that car.
So yeah, moving on to the next headline, right? that says Iraq launches a missile against Israel. So before now, we've been having this back and forth. And I know you spoke about it, how this, you know, like, I mean, how to put that now? This war has actually taken a whole lot of things, properties. I remember there was a story that, what's her name, only read one time, that one woman that was going towards the, like, to help these people with food, and she got killed along the way. It's a whole lot. Joy, let's hear what you have to say.
What I have to say in a nutshell is, please, this should not extend. If you guys, because we've lent our voices, we've been saying it over and over again that because war is really not always a solution. And yes, we respect you all that you're the great G8, G7, or G8, what do they call them again? You have the best ammunitions in the world, but please let everybody mind their business. Nothing should fly and reach here. Me, I'm too big. I cannot be running. I'm saying it now. So please, I just think that for whatever reason they're trying to just launch missiles against Israel. Are you guys not learning a lesson? Where have any country fought with Israel and then there's a win to that country? I'm not siding any country right now, but I'm just trying to lay precedence to this to see, okay, you're not the first country to have tried these people out. Several countries have tried them. In fact, a whole Palestine that is surrounding them have been on their matter and been on their case for God knows how long. And they've not been able to succeed. And you just wake up one morning, you want to go and look for trouble to that same country. Hello, sorry, you have not seen your seniors that have gone before you.
Maybe they're just trying their luck.
I mean, what luck do you want to try that several countries has come to do this and it didn't work? Right. Because I have known that. I don't want to come from a spiritual angle before people attack me this morning, but whatever be the case, let's face reality the way it is. Countries have come to fight war with Israel, but they have not ended up winning against Israel. I've not heard of that record. Maybe there is, and I'm waiting for somebody to put it out there to me, but I have gone to the research and I have read through. I have not seen that any country has won a fight over Israel. It has always been the other way around. Oh, let's just kill it, and everybody, let's just settle, because nobody will win at the end of the day. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So why would you see such a precedent and you still want to go and question is, why did you launch the attack?
How best do we even explain to these persons that war is not the answer to or solution to all of this?
Okay, so I like that question because me too, I want to ask them again. So how best do you guys think we should explain it to you? Because we've learned our voices. Even our Nigerian leaders that have no business with what is going on, they left their own country, left our own problems. They also went out to learn their voices. Yeah. So a lot of voices have been lending out since to say, okay, let's stop the war. We are standing against the war in Gaza. We're standing against the war in Iran. We're standing against the war in Palestine. We're standing against the war in UK. We're standing against the war in Israel. But we've been lending our voices, and so far so good. The voices are not helping us, right? So maybe there's something that needs to be done, but I will definitely stand against using of weapons and ammunition, because guess what? This war are not triggered or caused by citizens of this country. But at the end of the day, the citizens of this country that tends to always, on emphasis of always, suffer for it, because you get to see people are homeless. You get to see people, a lot of families get divided because everybody's running helter-skelter, and then there's room for, you don't have amenities to even cater and fend for yourself. So it's really, really a whole lot. So for the sake of the citizens, I think they need to reconsider.
Yeah, I agree with you, actually, because, I mean, I know we've spoken about this over and over again. It was almost looking like there was no time we're not talking about it. Because in any newspaper, it's always there. Today, Gaza, tomorrow, Gaza. Is that somebody's taking his life, or somebody's coming to explain, or somebody's trying to, you know, there's a whole lot going on. And just like you have said earlier, there's no how war would actually be a solution. There's no how war would be a solution to all of these things, you know. And the funny part is the war keeps spreading. So countries that has nothing to do with it, one person would agree, or one person sides with this person, and it just keeps going on. So I don't see a reason why there should, you know, be like, so war should be like the solution to this. I think they should have like a normal talk and, you know, try to sort this out. So yes, going on to the war stuff, right? Let me not say the war that's going on in Nigeria. There's no war going on, right? Well, I mean, I feel like the EFCC is doing a whole lot of good things, right? Speaking of the Cubana chief priest, arraigned for Naira abuse.
Oh, man, na EFCC they reign.
It's an EFCC.
Na EFCC they reign. Oh my God, EFCC been doing wonders for me.
Right.
And it's interesting because I like what they are doing. Let's be very honest with ourselves. If every parastatal, if every agency, if every government organizations can just take up with this same action they are proceeding right now, I think it's going to make Nigeria to become more better in our government system, our policies, and even our democracy. Because I keep saying, and I'll always say, it's not by saying, I will do this, I will do that. Literally do it. Because after saying it, Nigerians and human beings will always be human. They would always want to test run you. They always want to dare you. They still want to do what is in their head. So take up the actions and see, everything is just going to change. Now, Portable came out and said, please, I beg, I'm very sorry. I've been spending naira anyhow. I've been throwing naira everyhow, like I've been spending it. But please forgive me, I will not do it again. That's because he has seen a precedent to say that Bobrisky has gone in 6 months. Now, Cubana chief priest has also been taken. But next in line,
he has been
he's already seen a trajectory that they are looking at influencers because these are the people that have been creating chaos with a naira lately. So he's already seen that this is going to be a problem soon coming. So let me just clear my name out of it and apologize in advance. I know that the next step, and I bet you, from now henceforth, a lot of influencers party, let's just be on the lookout for it. You see that they will respect they will respect themselves entirely. They would entirely respect themselves because this has just laid a foundation for them.
I agree. I mean, the whole Bobrisky thing, right? It was a shock. I feel like when that happened, everybody was like, okay, this really happened, you know, but just like you said, I think like that's one way to actually prove to Nigerians that, see, this is actually a crime. You guys should not do this. So although he has been bailed out now, he bailed himself with 10 million naira. Although, like, that was what, like, the judge, that's like Justice Kennedy, that's what he told him. And there are other things that they needed him to put in place before he would be, you know, bailed. And he met with it, like, in terms with what they asked him to do if he wants to be bailed. So yes, he's now at home. But I mean, this just shows that the EFCC is working. So still in the Nigeria space, right? Let's talk a bit about entertainment. This is my junction. I love entertainment. Don't worry, I love it. So yes, in the entertainment space, Tiwa Savage and Timaya collaborate on a new single. The name of the
partnership. So it would be interesting to know that there's a Nigerian spirit when it comes to business. There's always this Nigerian spirit of, oh, na me get time. Oh, it's my thing. I don't want to share the glory with anybody. I want to do it all by myself alone, so that when the glory comes, they know that, okay, it was only me that made deal with all those things. But we're forgetting to understand that partnership is very key. Collaboration is very key. And the reason why I said this is becoming very interesting to me is I'm going to trace us back a bit. Now, when Junior Pope died, Yvonne Jegede came up on her live page to make a video. And then there's a comment she made which was very, very interesting to me. She said, Nollywood producers, how about we come together to collaborate and produce at least one good film and sell it out to the market and make money. As opposed I know what I'm going to. So as opposed to just having, I have 2 million naira, or I just want to go and produce a movie, and I'm producing on a low budget film, and then we come tomorrow and say, Nollywood is not getting to that space. And I've actually watched it on other country movies. You see this movie company, you see this media company, this production company, you see like 5 or 3 different companies coming together to produce one film, and you hear that movie is a blockbuster. That's because they understand the power and the importance of collaboration and partnership. So if we can imbibe that spirit, which I think Tiwa is beginning to do lately, she's done a collaboration
in the movie industry. What do you mean exactly?
So collaboration is, I'm a movie producer, you're a movie producer, and then there are 3 other movies producers, right? As opposed to me saying, oh, I just want to produce a movie. I have the idea in my head. Okay, it might be that I have the idea, but I don't have the funds, enough funds for it. Maybe what I just have is basically about 2 million naira. You have more funds. Better still, another movie producer has more technical personnel.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, in the movie industry, right? It is actually very hard for you to know which person has the storyline, which person, like, if 2 or 3 people came together to do a movie, that's the truth. Now, I'll tell you why. Because, I mean, they're all actors. And I'm speaking from this because I know I've spoken to, like, top actors, right? Most of these persons, they don't, because this, for example, now, imagine a Ruth Kadiri, right? There are some people that she call on her set, when she wants to, like, produce a movie now. Some of these persons just go there because of who she is. Trust me when I say she don't pay some of them, right? I'm giving an example now. I'm not talking about her directly, but I'm talking about how it works sometimes. So not all the producers. There are some that just be like, okay, I have the funds. One person is coming with the story. You're not paying that person. So you cannot actually tell. It's not like the music sector where you know that everybody has their individual music, right? Then when you actually talk, two persons come together and know that, okay, this person actually like collaborates to get the song out. When it comes to the movie industry, it's just a bit technical. You can actually don't know, to be honest. So except they come out to say, oh, okay, this movie, do you get what I mean?
So let's look at it from a space of, I have the story. You are the producer, and then there's a technical person. We all come together. We're all producers, but I just have the story, but I don't have the funds. Now, you as a producer, you have the funds, but you don't have the personnels. Now, this other person has the personnels, but not the funds and not the story. We all come together. We produce and shoot that movie, and that movie makes a 50 million naira profit. Are you saying that profit will not be shared amongst the three of us?
That's not what I'm saying. Of course it will. But how will you know now that this person actually did the collaboration and the movie?
That's the point.
You know what I'm saying? So, that brings me. We are not going to do as only enjoy on this set
That's what I'm saying, that it is not about who owns it.
That's what I'm saying.
So that's the problem of Nigerians. We are more of Nami better. It was my idea. No, I get where you're coming from. You will not know who owns the idea, right?
Joy doesn't get me.
Wait, first. Now let's get ourselves. You're not owning. You're God's beauty. Let's get ourselves. You're coming from a space of who owns the idea. You will not know the person that owns it. That's not what I'm saying. Okay, where are you coming from? Let me understand.
I'm just trying to make you understand that there are so many times where they do collaboration and you don't know. Because, you know, you said something around movie industries, they don't collaborate. So me, I'm telling you now that they actually do collaborate, but you don't know. They cannot come out and tell you. It's not everything they will tell you. Because the truth is, it's not obvious whether they are collaborating or not, but they are collaborating.
So when I mean collaboration, it's not by you're an actor, come and act for me. No, I'm looking at from the production angle.
I hear you. But trust me when I'm still saying the same thing, that they actually do collaborate.
I wish I can tell you, state your points with facts, but don't worry.
We're going on a short break, guys. Please, Joy, don't stress me. Oh, my God. We're going on a short break, and I know for sure that you've been enjoying this interesting convo. When we come back, I mean, we'll have more insight to the beyond the headlines. Please stay with us.
Members of our House of Assembly or the National Assembly, who you have said are supposedly our representatives, who are supposed to be representing our interests, making laws that will be executed by the executive. These same people who you are saying that need to help us are people who have been helping themselves in the past. These are people who have only made laws that only hold us accountable and not necessarily them. Again, in the recent past, we've seen them fight for cars and monies and sitting allowances that are much more higher than the amount of money that a university professor takes home as his pay. And most of these professors still haven't received their pay. Who's to say that these same people that you're talking about accountability on their past will cut off their nose to spite their face?
You're watching Waste Breakfast. If you're just tuning in, we're talking about an interesting subject beyond the headlines. So yes, before we went for that interesting break, right, we're talking about the whole Tiwa Savage and Timaya collaboration. Do you agree with me now? Or do we literally still have to, like, I get what you mean, oh, but mommy, I'm just saying is they do it actually, but like you will not always know. But when it comes to the music aspect, you would know because I mean they do the videos, you hear the person's voice and all of that. You'll be able to tell that, oh, okay, this is we came to like collaborate and all of that. Do you get now?
For me,
Sean gets it.
I'm happy for Tiwa.
Tiwa has always been Tiwa has always been like a very interesting queen. I consider her one of the like Afrobeat queen, you know.
Is she not the Afrobeat queen?
You know, people always want to argue that since we have like the Yemi Alade, we have the Nini Ola and the likes. So they will always want to argue that no, Tiwa, you know.
She's the Afrobeat queen. Leave matter for matter.
Right.
She's the Afrobeat queen.
I mean, if Joy says you're the Afrobeat queen, who am I?
Exactly. Stamp it. Pa.
Well, so yeah, moving on to the next headline, right? We have 80 billion naira money laundering. Federal government places Yahaya Bello on is that how you call it Yaya or you call it Yahaya Bello? But there are other places where you see it like a short from Yahaya Bello. So, all right, on watch list, Immigration Alert Department of State Service, that's the DSS. So the federal government have taken action to prevent the immediate pass of Governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, from escaping the country. The Nigerian Immigration Service issued a circular on April 18, 2024, alerting the police and the DSS, that's the Department of the State Service, to arrest him. This move comes in the wake of an 80 billion naira money laundering allegation against him. Additionally, the Economic and Financial Crime Commission, that's the EFCC, has charged Yahaya Bello and 3 others for their alleged involvement in a money laundering scheme amounting to 84 billion naira. The Kogi state government has contested the accusation, asserting that it is baseless. The situation remains under scrutiny as authorities investigate further. What do you think about the story, John?
I like the fact that they declared him wanted.
Hey.
Let's start from there. Because if your hands are clean and you won't be running, right? In your cupboard, why are you evading questioning? Because they called you in for questioning, you didn't come. And then they had to come in to come and arrest you. You know what? Let me just wait till we get to that side of the conversation and before I enter that part, because I'm very, very close.
No, we can actually take that together.
No, well, let's just see exactly. Let's take it together. Now, so, like, Governor Ododo, who sent you work?
He still sent you work.
No, because who sent you work?
Okay.
If we're going by the Constitution, Yahaya does not have immunity right clause again. It's evaded away from him because he's no more in the state of government.
Who's that, Yahaya? Yeah, yes. Of course he doesn't have that.
He doesn't have that. So why are you standing against justice? You are obstructing justice. That was clear obstruction of justice, clear and out, with no sugarcoating on it. It was clear obstruction of justice. Because literally, the EFCC only came to make arrest. Are they convicting him? No. It's just an arrest for against an allegation of 80 million naira for money laundering. Yeah. It is simply, okay, no problem, here am I. No, I did not do it. These are my facts and evidence to prove to you that I did not do it. Case closed and I'm out.
Probably he doesn't have evidence to back up.
Clearly, because if you have evidence to back you up that you did not do it, you would clearly would school chest. In fact, you won't be happy to even prove that CESC, you are wasting your time. Because if I'm coming from a place of, I'm Yahaya Bello, and I know my hands are clean, by all means, Sebi, you want to carry me, let's go. When I get to your space, I would prove to you that I did not do this thing. And then make me want to let you know that you need to do your homework and do better assignments, in-depth research before you come against me. But where you lock yourself in a room, and the funny part, it was in Abuja. It was not even in Kogi State. So what has Abuja got to do with Kogi State? That people from Kogi State had to come out. In fact, I was watching it on the news yesterday, and somebody had the mind to say that this is clearly political. Is everything in Nigeria political? So it becomes political when it's not in your favor. But when it's in your favor, it is not political. You see my problem with Nigerian politics. You see my problem with Nigerian leadership. Because if this were to be another person, let's say somebody in the PDP, some APC members should have been coming out to say, this is not about politics. It is about governance. It's about what we want for Nigeria. We want a true Nigeria. Now it is the other way around. They are the ones coming to say, this is a political counterfeit. And we feel that this is because everything is based on what makes it baseless. Are you trying to say now the EFCC is trying to run a business accusation against somebody who don't have a job? They'll just wake up in the morning and say they want to just give a business accusation to Bello. I don't think it's like that. And I still have a problem with Governor Ododo, because why would you obstruct justice in the first place? Now, let's come from the part that the Federal High Court had given an order that that arrest should be made. But the State High Court is coming to say the arrest cannot be made. And I'm now looking, Federal High Court, State High Courts.
The truth is, the State High Court can never do that.
They did it.
They did it.
Oh no, please go and read the news. They did it. The Federal High Court gave the order that Bello should be arrested by the EFCC. State High Court came up and said no. And then Senior Advocates of Nigeria.
So it depends on where he is. Jurisdiction too matters when it comes to the court.
This guy, they came to arrest this brother, this uncle, this daddy in Abuja, in his house in Abuja. When he went to go and meet President Tinubu, that's when they went to meet him. I saw the video. I watched the news. I saw him. It was there they came. And then before you know what, police came, and then some people came to obstruct the EFCC from coming in. But the EFCC stayed put, and they were still there until Governor Ododo had to drive in, and then they gave him entrance, and he went in, and he now picked up Yahaya Bello, put in his car, and left. And after some minutes, the EFCC drove off. But there was a court order. So my question is, what exactly is going on? I thought in school I was taught there are 3 arms of government: legislative, executive, and judiciary. Now, each of these arms of government work independently on their own, but they do checks and balances.
Yeah, they do check
so
balance.
why won't you just allow the judiciary to work at once in this country? Why? Because if there's a court order from the Federal High Court, how is states coming to say, no, that's not going to work? In a state that the arrest was not even made in the state itself, just because he was a one-time governor in that state. Then you're coming up to say, and I really stand with what Senior Advocate Femi Falana said. He said that is complete obstruction of justice, and the IGP, that's Inspector General of Police of Nigeria, needs to arrest all of those policemen that came to stand against his arrest. They need to arrest all of them to say, why would you be committing? It's a clear obstruction of justice.
Yeah, it is.
Why would you want to stop that from happening? You were not instructed to do that. That was not your position. That was not your call. That was not your responsibility to do such a thing. And I really stand by him to say those policemen should be called to book and should be called to order and questioning, because we stand against obstruction of justice. I don't know why I'm the one speaking this language. It's supposed to be you that is a lawyer. As a fellow lawyer, no, I'm not your fellow lawyer. Nah.
You know, but I've told you to actually think about getting a question law.
You people should stop telling me to think. It's not. I don't want to do law in Nigeria. Nah.
Why?
Nah.
I'm also the look down.
So that me, when I'm finally working in Federal High Court as a judge, or let's say now I'm working as a high judge in
No,
High
but you know
Court,
you can.
I give an order, and then the State High Court is going to fight.
Okay, so the thing is, studying law. Me now, I mean, I want to finish up studying law, but I don't want to practice it. So it's just to have a good knowledge of what law entails as a citizen of Nigeria. You know, see you now saying all of these things because you have a very good foundation of Nigerian law, the Constitution, and all of these things. You know, I actually wish we had a lawyer on ground, to be honest, because the truth is, even you're talking about the fact that they need to arrest the police officers and all of those things. I don't even see a reason why they are not arresting the governor of Kogi State. But now they can't arrest him. They cannot arrest him because of immunity.
That's fine.
So
no, when he comes out, he can face his own call.
The truth is, he cannot. Now, should I not tell you now that the truth is, whatever they want to hold him for every crime that we have in Nigeria, right? If that person is not held immediately, that particular crime has an expiry date at which, yes. You see why you need to go read the law. I'm not joking.
It's not about law.
No, wait now. Let me finish up. Now, if they are going to, if what they want to arrest him now has probably a 2 years jurisdiction to after 2 years, they cannot arrest him for this again, and they cannot arrest him for anything. Now, if he's still there, someone that just entered this year, January 27th, he has how many years left? So imagine now he's not staying for 2 tenors. And do you know that this particular thing they're holding him, they want to arrest him for, right? The fact that he didn't allow that the EFCC arrest Yahaya Bello. The truth is, if after like 3 years from now or 4 years from now, if that particular crime doesn't exceed probably a year or 2 years, after those years, they cannot arrest him again. Do you get what I mean? So this is what immunity does, and that's why I said, as if we had like a more, you know what? I feel like we'll still talk about this again, because to be honest, I've always said this, that the Constitution literally needs to be checkmated. That Constitution needs to be reworked on again, because I feel like there's still a whole lot of things that bears. Because you know, one thing is to make a law. Once you've not seen that happen, you will not know your next line of action. Do you get what I mean? So in this kind of case now, you cannot hold him responsible. So you know, I was speaking to some of my learned colleagues, and there were some people were even saying, okay, what he did now, he did that in a personal right. He didn't do that as a governor. But trust me when I say you cannot hold his personal right, because the truth is, sleep in, sleep out, he is still the governor of Kogi State, so he cannot be held responsible. Immunity covers him. I love this thing I just said right now.
Governor, no,
oh
governor.
my God.
I want to say I care less about that. Governor, no, governor.
Mm-hmm.
My own is, they need to bring Yahaya Bello to book, because when it was Better Edu, everybody was singing it because she's a woman. So it was like a national anthem in the whole country. Hey, Better
Do you think
Edu,
it was
Better
because she
Edu.
was...
At some point, let's not be in denial of that fact.
Okay.
The fact that she was a woman and she's a female person made it like, oh, women, this, that, shame, disgrace. Now, it is now on the male counterparts. Abi, no problem. Please, that same thing that happened should also happen now. Because if this story, or if this case sleeps under the carpets, I choose to swallow what I want to see. Let's go.
Well, I mean, welcome to Nigeria, though.
Don't worry, we're
going on a short break, guys. I mean, I feel like we've had an insightful conversation. Now we have a more detailed, interesting conversations, very detailed, because trust me when I say, just like this last headline we spoke about, look at the governor, look at Yahaya Bello, and we can't hold, I mean, there's just a whole lot going on. And that takes us to getting like more intel and learning what the law says. Because I mean, I feel like I just thought Joy today. She's not going to tell me thank you, but it's fine. We're going on a short break, guys. We're coming back. We'll be dealing on the book review segment. Please stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. It's the book review
segment.
Hallelujah, somebody. Today you got it. Okay. So, I mean, before now, we're talking about Atomic Habits, authored by James Clear. So, we're taking the chapter 9, the role of family and friends in shaping your habits, right? So, the culture we live in determines what behaviors are attractive to us. We intend to adopt habits that are praised and approved by our culture because we have a strong desire to fit in and belong to the tribe, right? We intend to imitate the habit of 3 social groups, and that's the truth. The close, that's the family and friends. The many, that's the tribe. And the powerful, that's the status and prestige. So, I mean, with all of these things that I've explained now, if you know that you want to have a good habit, I think you should now be watchful of the close, which is your family and friends, the kind of characteristics or the kind of behavior those people assimilate. You have to watch it. So if you're seeking to have a certain kind of identity, and that kind of identity you don't find it in your family, I think you have to now be watchful, right? Now same goes to the many. That's the tribe. If you are, for example, an Igbo girl, and back in the days, I remember they say they used to tie wrapper here, optics in Nollywood. They tie wrapper here and they tie on their waist and their tummy hair is open. So you see, I mean, in that kind of situation, there are people that don't like dressing like that, right? It's not now that we don't have all of those dressings anymore, right? But I mean,
we have it now. Why is cropped up there?
Oh, crop top. Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
No, but I feel like crop top is more like more modernized. It's the modernized.
Oh, God.
Joy on this. So this one.
Yeah,
so, yeah, I mean, that just take us to it. If you want to have, like, good behavior, you just have to be watchful for the close, the many, and the powerful. That's it. Joy, let's hear yours.
Okay, so basically, God's beauty has set it all for me. I just have to say or what I'm just going to add is, and as much as we're reviewing Atomic Habits and we're trying to say that, yeah, break the bad habits, but it would be nice to learn how to build good habits to also make yourself better, be a better version of yourself. And if we're going to come from this, the culture and the tribe and many that you did mention about, now for you to cultivate a good habit, you have to desire it. So there has to be that inborn desire that, okay, this is what I really want. I really want, okay, it might be difficult for me because I don't have it in me before, but I want to imbibe it. And then that takes us to the culture, the meaning, and now you get into the right space of people that will help you push your desire. And when you do all that, you think you'll be all right.
So yes, as we conclude this enriching dialogue, really heartfelt thanks to our viewers out there for tuning in. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today's conversation has been truly enlightening and enjoyable. Join us again tomorrow for another captivating discussion, beaming with even more insights and entertainment. And don't forget to tune in to Waste Prime Time at 8 p.m., where education and humor are converge for an unforgettable experience. So on behalf of myself and my beautiful baddie right here, it's goodbye for now. We eagerly anticipate our next interaction with you. Until then, keep seeking knowledge, nurturing your curiosity, staying inspired, and staying tuned. See you tomorrow. Bye.